think that Bowie was completely correct in identifying that it would be exhilarating and terrifying. It is both of those things in equal measure every day, from the moment I open my eyes at 6 a.m. and take the iPhone from under my pillow, no shame in this, no shame, and look at it, and it begins. And it is exhilarating. It's exhilarating because the whole world is there. It's continuously stimulating. I go on Twitter and I talk to people from all over the world. I talk to people that I've been friends with for 10 years but have never met, that are from all over the world. News sources, real reactions, videos, news. I go to Instagram. I get, like as somebody that's like slightly in the public eye, I get all of my needs met, oh, lovely, a whole load of people saying that I'm pretty. Do you know what I mean? Exhilarating, like of course it is, terrifying, in that it shows you the absolute opposite of that, the polar opposite of that. It shows you small-minded people, it shows you people that don't have any friends, it shows you people that want to tell you that you're not pretty at all, in fact, that want to do awful things to you. It's, I always try to say, I get philosophical about the internet these days, after 10 years of riding Twitter, for example. I just say the whole world's there, and the whole world is complex, and it's wonderful, but it's also scary. So what are you going to do? I think we need to remember that from the moment I unpacked my first Apple computer in 1999, the internet has always been murky. So we need to catch up as a species in how we deal with that. I just think that these days, intelligent women who are coming to the internet now, say 16, 17, 18, 25-year-olds, I don't think they realise perhaps how shut out we were. So yes, every day it's given intelligent women a home. But I lived through a long time in my life where I was very shut out. There wasn't a lot of women doing prime positions, doing key roles. One of the main things I found was that there was a real pushback about the idea of me being funny, and if I was funny, it immediately negated the fact that I could be serious. And there's a real pushback against women being, the word polymath, being able to do lots of different things. I think society has a big problem with that, and the internet, especially Twitter, allowed me even to show to my bosses, to show to my people that were around me who pre-Twitter would have said and did say, well, why do you want to write about television and food? Why do you want to write about, why do you want to, what? You can't, what? Why do you want to write about soap, but you also want to write about the Labour Party? Twitter allowed me, it gave me a place to be able to go, bang, 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 bang. Here, if you won't give me a platform, I've got Twitter, and I will just go, here's my thought, here's my thought, here's my thought. And then it was suddenly 4,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 followers. And that made people's ears prick up. It made commissioners' ears prick up. I don't think that I'm unique. I remember at that time there was hundreds of us women in 2008 going, bloody hell. It's like, we're being taken, I was being taken as seriously as Charlie Brooker for the first time, or David Mitchell, or any of my kind of contemporaries who I just wasn't, So I thank the internet every day, because it allowed me to, and it still allows me to, say, look past what I look like, look past the fact that I've got tits, and just see that I can talk about the Pixies and the Throwing Muses and Britpop, and I can also talk about, communism. And so yeah, the internet saved my life. Even though as women, Western women, I think that even though we feel, what's the word, that we have our freedoms and that we can vote and we have education and that we're in top positions, we also forget that we have not been at the forefront taking key positions for a very long time. And I think it's very ingrained in the male gaze, and also in women as well. I get a lot of hassle off women. In fact, I get just as much hassle off women online. That it's just surprising to see me on MasterChef. You know, it's shocking. It's annoying. You know, and I don't think that they will never identify it within themselves as misogyny. They will never see that. They'll just go, oh well, she's an effing what? You know, but you kind of go, well, I see it every day and I know what I see, you know. I know that, I do think that people try to shut you up, but I'm very aware now in 2017, and I'm never whiny about it. I think that to give people any credit for what they're doing it just slows me down. You know, because it's never going to stop. This is never going to stop. I think it'll be a good, 100 years until men and the women that surround them take women as seriously as restaurant critics, as scientists, as gamers, as mechanics. If you stand up as a woman and do these things, although you may feel, if you're say 25, you may feel, well, we've always done this, you know. We haven't. Like 15 years ago, we weren't doing any of these things. So I think it's just a pushback, you know, and I think it's frightening. It's frightening to a lot of men. And I think as a woman as well, you become like a symbol of everything that they're angry about. They're angry about as we all are, we're all confused and angry about our role in society, who we are and what we contribute, and, you know, being a dad, or, you know, being a father and being a wage earner, and who I am and my mortality. You know, it's all confusing stuff. And I think that it's very handy sometimes to let it all boil down to the fact that you feel a bit emasculated by Sex and the City that you once watched, and I remind you of one of them. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and you've had half a bottle of whiskey and your wife is in bed, so you think that you'll just tweet her. I mean, I get this every day, so like it's like, you know, just kind of message after message saying like, you know, do you know you're fucking ugly? Do you know that? And you just, oh mate, it's never going to shut me up. I think this is what women need to just, you know, I see my Teflon attitude to it now as like a strength. How would I make the internet great again? Right, okay, it's 4 o'clock right now when we're filming this. At 4:15, I would suspend Donald Trump's Twitter account. I think that would be a key step to drawing a line in the sand of where we are at 2017. I think I was very spirited this week to see Jack Dorsey from Twitter answer back to him, because I just thought, oh, you're getting the message, you know. We live in rather dystopian times when the President of the United States is just causing trouble. You know, he's acting like, you know, your, you know, insane father on Twitter. And there's a reason we don't let my father have the internet. So yeah, and then also, you know, on a smaller scale, in a little bit like national service, I would make everybody who is on the internet a lot just go and do Keep Fit once a day. Just kind of, you know, just huge swathes of people doing star jumps in the park, because I really think that, you know, a lot of the trouble that we get into online and a lot of the bad things that happen is just because we haven't had any fresh air. And, you know, people need to run and people need to get out and people need to understand that it's not real. It is real, but it's not real. It's real, but it's not real, you know? And I think that we have lost that. We've lost that idea that, you know, like I bought a Labrador in the end. You know, walking my dogs changed everything of how I felt about the internet. You know, because I had to go and find green spaces and actually talk two strange and weird people. A lot of them were not even on the internet, you know, the doggy community. And to go out and tell you realize that these things don't matter, you know? These things, like, you don't need to be on TripAdvisor shouting about the fact that your souffle wasn't nice. You know, there's like, you don't have to be on Yelp.com being furious about the standard of the toilets in John Lewis. You know, you don't have to be on Huffington Post, like, arguing about Brexit. It's nice and it's a sugar rush, but it's not real. So yeah, keep fit. Star jumps.